Hey guys, Duke here, and today I'm going to be making my first solo Master Lost Sector guide for Veles Labyrinth and the Forgotten Shore on the Cosmodrome. Note that each of these guides are going to be done in the 1280 version of the Lost Sectors, but the 1250 versions are just lower leveled versions with less champions, so everything I discuss in this video will be helpful in the 1250 version as well. Doing these Legend and Master Lost Sectors solo are the only way to get the 6 new exotic armor pieces for this season, and also give you the ability to have a solo and farmable way to get the other exotics you may be missing or want better rolls on. In each Lost Sector, there will be a number of champion types and modifiers. In this Lost Sector, there are both Unstoppable and Barrier champions. Also, there is the Match Game modifier, which means that any enemy that has an elemental shield will be very hard to damage without the proper elemental damage, as well as Locked Equipment, which means that once you have launched the Lost Sector, you cannot change any of your weapons, armor, mods, or, well, any equipment at all. Therefore, we need to go into the Lost Sector equipped for everything we will see throughout it. For my loadout, I am running an Unstoppable Shotgun, Heritage, an Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifle, Stars and Shadow, and Anarchy as my heavy. There's a lot of mix and matching you can do with your loadout to run something different, but here is what I would consider the baseline requirements. First, you need both Unstoppable and Anti-Barrier options. For Unstoppable, you can go either with an Unstoppable Shotgun, as I did, or an Unstoppable Hand Cannon. I do like having the shotgun though, as something that has a high damage output is very, very helpful. For Anti-Barrier, you can run either a Pulse or an SMG. You also have the additional options of Ariana's Vow or the Lament, but note that those will take your exotic slot, and in most cases if you have Anarchy, I would highly suggest using it for its ease of use and ammo economy benefits. For the heavy slot, if you don't already have Anarchy, let me first say that you should highly consider working on getting it if you're not already. If you are someone who does not do raids and doesn't have the ability to get the Spoils of Conquest needed for it, I have a video where you can get an easy 10 spoils per character per week solo that I will link on screen and in the description. Also, I do raid helps on my Twitch stream almost every single stream on both Xbox and PC, and I'm always willing and wanting to teach people the ropes when it comes to raiding and show them how fun it can be. But until you get Anarchy, XENOPHAGE is a great secondary option, or the new exotic sword. Lament can work well as well, but I would only suggest using a sword if you're at least 1270 or 1240 if you're doing the 1250 version, and even then it's going to be a more risky option. Overall, due to the shields in this Lost Sector being solar and arc, you just want to try to match your energy weapon and heavy weapon to cover both of those shields. On the armor side, no matter what character you are running, I would suggest running 4 mods. A way to become charged with light, such as taking charge, protective light, concussive dampener, and spoils of war. Protective light will give you a 50% damage resistance bonus when your shields break if you are charged with light, and taking charge gives you that charge with light buff that you need when you pick up an orb. Note that make sure that your weapons are masterworked if you're using this, as that is how you will get the orbs you need to be able to get those orbs solo. Concussive Dampener reduces all types of AoE damage done to you by 25% if you run one of them, and 40% if you run 2. So as you can imagine, the combination of these mods makes you so much more survivable than without them. Spoils of War gives you a guaranteed heavy drop whenever you use a finisher on a champion, especially if using a heavy other than Anarchy, and honestly even if you are, I would highly suggest running this as it gives you a surefire way to get heavy back throughout the Lost Sector. Now for the Lost Sector itself. When you load in, you will start in a bit of a maze. All you need to do is hug the right wall all the way down to get past the maze section. When you see the text that a champion has appeared, start moving more cautiously, as a horde of thralls, cursed thralls, and the champion barrier knight will try to rush you. I would suggest trying to play this part a bit slow, as to not have to deal with the barrier knight and all the thralls at the same time, so backpedaling once you get their aggro can give you some space and a bit of an angle to cover to use to kill this section of ads. Next, an unstoppable ogre will be waiting for you outside of the tunnel you are in. As long as you stun him right away, he shouldn't be any trouble. However, if you are a bit lower on level or damage, make sure to fall back a bit, wait for his stun immunity to wear off, and then go in for a second unstoppable shot before committing to the kill, and you should be golden. Note that this ogre is not in the 1250 version of the Lost Sector. Make your way up the stairs to another barrier knight. There's also a swarm of thralls that will spawn to your right when you come up this staircase, so it can be safer and easier to wait for those to come to you and kill them before dealing with the knight. You can use the same staircase as a head peek and cover to slowly chip away at the knight until it is dead. Continuing across the gap and around the corner to your right will be another unstoppable ogre. As long as you know he is there, which if you're watching this video, now you do, he should be easy to deal with. Just hit him with your unstoppable shot and take him down. Again, if you're a much lower level or struggling to output DPS, you can run back across the gap to where you killed the last barrier knight to get cover, and he should chase you out of his cover so you can kill him out in the open. As you go past where the ogre died, you should see a wizard with a solar shield. This is where you're going to want your solar weapon to break the shield quickly, and then try to dispatch of her fast. This wizard is probably the most annoying and or dangerous enemy in the entire Lost Sector, but as long as you're prepared for her, you can take her down. As the boss spawns out of his portal, there will be two unstoppable ogres that come out from the right side spawn area. Note that in the 1250 version, this will instead be two arc-shielded knights. If you're a bit lower level, you may not want to just face tank them in a well like I did, and play this room a bit slower, taking down the adds from where I placed my well and retreating back as needed. Once all immediate threats are clear, you can take on the boss. This is where Anarchy really shines, as you can tag him with 2 Anarchy shots and just let the gun do the rest of the work. Without Anarchy, I would again just take things slower and take pot shots at him with your heavy of choice. Xeno melts him, as well as Lament, but again Lament I would not suggest unless you are a high enough level, as you can also get melted by everything else. Finally, you can hop up on the ridge and get your loot. In any of these solo Lost Sectors, if your goal is to farm them out for the new exotics, or farm better rolls on old ones, I would suggest getting in there and adjusting your strats a bit as you go. Getting the feel and flow of each Lost Sector is a learning experience and gets better through repetitions. Thank you for watching my first solo Master Lost Sector guide. I'd really appreciate any feedback as I plan to make one for each Lost Sector over the coming week or two. And if there's something you liked or didn't like, I would love to know that for the coming videos. If this video helped you, a like and a sub if you haven't already goes such a long way. And as always, have a wonderful day.